So we have this concept, quantum jumping, and it's tough. It's tough to narrow it down and to break it down into its finer details because it's an experience that human beings can only be part of. We can be part of the experience, but it's so much far further beyond the human experience that to try and summarize and explain it is freaking impossible. But we can at least touch on different parts of that concept that we can rationally understand in our minds and our brains. And okay, so you and it's again, it's using words. Words are limited, but it's one of the main tools we have. So parallel realities, quantum jumping, a different way to describe it. So what if we use timelines instead? So think about the clock, and there's hours, minutes, and seconds, right? Okay. So imagine that every tick, every 1 second tick of the clock represents a different and unique um, reality, a point on the timeline. So every second represents a moment in time. You could also say that every second represents a specific reality, physical world. So each second that ticks by, it's like a different point on the timeline, but it is also a different physical world. But because it looks so much like the one you were previously in, it's virtually impossible to consciously be aware and realize that you've indeed moved into a different physical world. We're constantly doing it. It is a concept that's hard to digest at first. But yeah, so each second represents a different point on the timeline. It also represents a different physical reality, physical world. And again, it looks so much the same that you can't tell it's changing. But after 2012, it seems like the rules have changed a little bit, and you get things like Mandela effect memories. But yeah, the quantum jumping thing and the timeline changes, they kind of are intertwined. So so with that concept, to expand a little bit further, imagine a roll of film. Before they had the digital technology for movie theaters, they had the motion picture film reel, right? And it was what? A bunch of still pictures, but played in sequence at the right speed, it starts to become alive. The movie or the television show is moving, it's become alive, but it's still just a bunch of still pictures. When you actually, so if you're in a movie theater, you're at the movie theater, and there's a projector with all the still pictures, the motion picture, and it goes real fast through the light, and it like portrays a motion picture and moving. Things are moving, but nothing's moving. At least not with regards to those pictures. The characters you see interacting and cars driving and people running around and all this stuff on the movie screen, but they're actually nothing's moving. The images you're watching on the screen, it's just a bunch of still images played in a sequence, and it has the illusion of movement. There's something similar going on in this world, and it'll take time, but eventually, hopefully, we'll be able to have a better understanding of it. And I look forward to having more of these conversations in the future.